years ago, I stepped down from a nearly 40-year career in financial services, the last 15 in investment and wealth management. I loved virtually every minute of my career, but I really wanted to dedicate my time going forward to issues that I care deeply about, such as economic equality for women, human rights, social justice, and fact-based non-commercial journalism. I was born in Cuba, and my family immigrated to the US in the mid 1950s. My father really believed that this was the land of opportunity, and indeed, for my family, it was. I've always had a foot firmly implanted in the immigrant experience. For example, my mother never learned to speak English proficiently, and frankly, that was very hard. But now I'm grateful, as it required us to speak Spanish at home, so I've retained my fluency. Well, I didn't grow up in a life of privilege and money was scarce and tightly budgeted. It was a loving family. And I had a lot of choices. I was very lucky. I had opportunities. And I've always made a pact with myself to never forget where I came from. And I truly believe in the concept of paying it forward. What is really meaningful about the Weingart Foundation to me is that I could have very well been one of those kids that was going to a nonprofit funded by Weingart to seek services that involved immigrant inclusion and opportunities. When I was first approached in 2008 and invited to serve on the Weingart board, I felt like the luckiest person in the world. It was a dream come true. And it's been such a privilege, such an honor, and it's a priority for me. It's one of the most gratifying experiences in my life. The foundation has been a leader in evolving its grant making to what's happening at the time. When I first joined the board in 2008 and the financial crisis was just becoming apparent, instead of reducing our grant making as many foundations were doing as they saw the decline in market value of their portfolios, we actually increased our funding to a non-insignificant increase. We stepped up and went exclusively to unrestricted operating support. And we leaned in on equity. We leaned in to helping communities even more and have continued to evolve. So our focus areas now are racial, economic, and social justice. I'm very excited about the exploration that we began in around 2016 to go all in on equity in all aspects. Fred Ali, our chief executive for about 20 years, who retired a couple of years ago, led us brilliantly on this exploration of how we would utilize all aspects of the portfolio, from grant making to investment management, in order to create the most impact and the most alignment with our mission and values. We determined that we could no longer bifurcate our grant making from our investments. After all, grants are 5%, investments are 95%. We had to join them together to make the most impact. And we're also, in addition, using our voice as a leader in the field of mission-related investing. It's a three-legged stool for us. We set about a process to identify an advisor who believed in our values: inclusion, diversity, and equity, and importantly, investment return as well. It's not an either or proposition. We tasked them with identifying managers that were similarly aligned. These are managers that were founded by women and people of color. And we recognized from the beginning that this would be a journey and it would take time. We are still very much on that journey, but we're nearing half of our portfolio with managers that share the vision of transparency, sharing the wealth, quality employment and workplace practices, investments that promote economic access and financial inclusion. We believe our portfolio in totality is making a difference and it's creating impact. And we are really pleased to be on this journey.